The war didn't begin with an explosion. It began with silence, a silence so deep, even the stars seemed afraid to shine. Humanity had already lost. One by one, Earth's colonies had fallen to the Zitharon Empire, an ancient alien race that had conquered galaxies, long before humans learned how to leave their own planet. Their ships were not machines. They were living constructs. Their soldiers didn't bleed. They dissolved into shadows. Against them, humanity was nothing. Cities burned, skies turned black, oceans boiled under orbital fire. And then, Earth went dark. No signals, no resistance, no survivors, or so they thought. Deep beneath the ruins of what was once Northern Command Base 7, something still breathed. A man, a soldier. His armor was cracked, barely holding together. His helmet visor flickered, struggling to display anything beyond static. Blood stained the ground beneath him, but his grip on the rifle, unbroken. His name had been erased from every surviving record, but the enemy would come to know him as something else. The last one. 3 Zitharon scouts entered the ruins. They moved like whispers, tall, skeletal beings wrapped in shifting darkness. Their eyes glowed as they scanned the wreckage. Life signs. Impossible, one of them hissed. There are no humans left, another replied. Then, a sound. Click, the faint, unmistakable sound of a weapon being armed. Before they could react, boom, the first scout's head exploded. The second turned. Too late. 2 more shots. Precise, deadly. The third creature froze, not from fear, but from confusion, because standing in front of it was a human, alone, bleeding, but standing. You should be extinct, the alien whispered. The soldier said nothing. He stepped forward, slow, steady, unstoppable. The alien raised its weapon, but the human didn't hesitate. He ran, not away, toward it. The alien fired. A blast of pure energy tore through the air. The soldier didn't dodge. He endured. The blast hit him, tearing armor, burning flesh, but he kept moving. Closer, closer, until he grabbed the alien. With his bare hands, the creature shrieked as something impossible happened. The human was smiling. Not with joy, not with madness, but with something the galaxy had never understood. Defiance. Earth isn't done, he whispered. And then he crushed the alien's core. Silence returned, but this time it wasn't empty. It was waiting. Far above Earth, a massive warship detected something. A signal. Weak, broken, but human. One transmission repeating again and again. Still here, and for the first time in thousands of years, the conquerors of galaxies hesitated. The signal changed everything. High above Earth, inside the Zitharon warship, alarms echoed through the endless dark corridors. Confirmed transmission? Human origin, one of the commanders said. That's impossible, another replied coldly. Earth is dead, but the signal didn't stop. Still here, again. I still hear, over and over, like a heartbeat refusing to die. The Supreme Commander stepped forward. A towering entity wrapped in living shadows. Older than most civilizations, for the first time, we will witness a human who refuses extinction. He gave one order. Send the hunters. Back on Earth. The soldier felt it, a shift in the air. The silence was gone. Something worse was coming. He reloaded his weapon slowly. Each movement heavy, each breath painful. His armor was failing. His body was breaking, but his eyes, still burning. The sky tore open, not with light, but with darkness. 5 Zitharon hunters descended, faster, deadlier, stronger than anything sent before. Their forms twisted like nightmares, their presence bending the air itself. They didn't speak. They attacked. The ground exploded. The first hunter struck like lightning. The soldier rolled, barely escaping, firing mid-motion. Boom. One hit, not enough. The creature regenerated instantly. Adaptation confirmed, a cold voice echoed from above. They learn, the soldier muttered. A rare smile appeared on his face. So do we. The second hunter lunged. This time, the soldier didn't aim for the head. He aimed for the glow beneath its ribs. Boom, when the creature froze. Cracked. Then shattered. For the first time, the hunters hesitated. Target is learning. one of them whispered through the void. Impossible, another replied. Human minds are primitive. The soldier coughed, blood dripping from his lips. Yeah, he whispered, raising his rifle again. Primitive, but stubborn. 2 hunters attacked at once, too fast, too strong. One slammed him into the ground, cracking the earth beneath him. The other fired a blast point blank. His armor shattered, his rifle flew from his hands. Silence, dust filled the air. Above, the commanders watched. It is over. No human survives that. Then a hand moved. Slowly, shaking, but rising. The soldier stood again. Barely broken, but standing. The hunters froze because something had changed. The human's heartbeat was louder, stronger, impossible. You don't get it, he said, voice weak but steady. We were never the strongest. He took a step forward, blood trailing behind him. We were never the fastest. Another step, but we are the ones, he clenched his fist, who don't stop. The remaining hunters attacked together. A final strike, a killing blow. The soldier didn't defend. He charged, a roar tore from his throat. Not fear, not pain, but pure human will. The battlefield erupted. The battlefield erupted. Energy, fire, dust. And then, silence. Seconds passed, then minutes. When the dust cleared, 3 hunters lay destroyed. 2 remained, damaged, retreating. Above Earth, the Zitharon warship fell silent. For the first time in their history, they didn't feel victory. They felt something else, something unfamiliar. A fear. And on the broken surface of Earth, the last soldier still stood, watching now. Every Zitharon warship, every conquered world, every silent observer in the void, all eyes were on Earth, on one man. Inside the warship, the Supreme Commander no longer sat in silence. This is no longer a battle, it said. This is a warning. The 2 surviving hunters returned, damaged, unstable, their forms flickering. They did not speak. They did not need to. The truth was clear. A single human had broken them. For the first time, the commander whispered, we face something unknown. Then it made a decision no Zitharon had ever made before. Prepare full eradication. Above Earth, the sky began to burn. Massive warships aligned in orbit. Weapons capable of wiping out entire planets charged with a low, terrifying hum. The final strike. The end of Earth. Below, the soldier looked up. His vision blurred. His body was failing. Every breath felt like fire in his lungs. But he understood. This was it. He could run, hide, give up. He smiled. No, he whispered. Then he stood straighter, even as his body screamed in pain. I'm still here. He picked up his broken rifle. It barely functioned. He knew it wouldn't matter, not against what was coming. But he held it anyway. Above, the Supreme Commander watched closely. Why does he resist? One of the generals asked. There is no victory. There is no survival. The commander answered slowly. That is why they are dangerous. The first beam fired. A column of pure annihilation descended from the sky. The ground vaporized instantly. Everything in its path erased. The soldier didn't move. At the last second, he stepped forward. Light consumed everything. For a moment, there was nothing. No sound. No earth. No soldier. Silence. Then, a signal. Weak. Broken. But still there. Still here. Inside the warship, panic spread. Impossible. He was directly hit. No life form could survive. The commander raised its hand. Silence returned. Zoom. The display focused on the surface, where the beam had struck, where nothing should remain. And there, standing in the center of destruction, was the soldier. Burned, broken, barely human, but alive. Even the Zitharans couldn't understand what they were seeing. How? One whispered. The commander finally spoke. Not with arrogance, not with certainty, but with something new. Respect. They do not fight because they can win, it said. They fight because they refuse to fall. Below, the soldier took one final step forward. His body gave out. He dropped to one knee. But he did not fall. His hand pressed into the ground, holding himself up. Eyes still open, still burning. I'm a breath. Still, another breath. Here. The signal echoed across the stars, across every world the Zitherons had conquered, across every species that had already surrendered. And for the first time, hope spread. The Supreme Commander turned away. After a long silence, it gave the final order. Retreat. No one argued, no one questioned. Because for the first time in their existence, the conquerors had lost. Not to an army, not to a weapon, but to a single human who refused to fall. And on the ashes of Earth, that was enough. Humans were never the strongest, never the fastest, never the most advanced, but we endure. We rise. We fight. Even when the universe says it's over,